Hi, Entertaining Universe. So, I want to talk about a show that I just finished watching, and that show is White Lotus. It's got a bunch of people that you may know or you may not know. It's got Alexandra Daddario as Rachel. It's got Sydney Sweeney she plays Olivia. You've got Paula, who's played by Brittany O'Grady. And then you've got Connie Britton, who plays Olivia's mom, and then you've got Steve Zane, who plays Olivia's dad, and then you've got a bunch of other individuals that are introduced into the show that are have a huge part in the show. This show, by the way, takes place in Hawaii. It's a fictitious hotel, but it's based on a real hotel that is in Maui, on Wailea, called the Four Seasons. And I've never, I wish I could go to this place where the show was filmed. It's a great show. I highly recommend it. It's on HBOmax. It's only 6 episodes long. I talked about this before. It's just, there's just so much character development. There's just so much arguments that happen. There's so much fighting that happens. It's just, from all the episodes I've watched, all 6 of them, it's just a great show. And like I said, I highly recommend that you watch it. If you have HBO Max. If you don't, I'd recommend you get HBO Max and watch, shows like Game of Thrones and Westworld, and even this show, and there's probably a bunch of other shows that are on there that are great. That that I haven't watched every single show or new show that's been added to HBO Max, but those are the 3 shows I would highly recommend. Especially seeing as how 6 episodes, about an hour and 5 minutes each, is it's interesting. It's binge-worthy, I should say. And hopefully they have season 2. And who knows what's going to happen or how the storyline would play out. But the first season was great. I really loved it. I watched it all the way. I binge-watched from episode 2 to all the way to episode 6 in like one day. Because that's how easy it was to finish watching it. Actually, it was over like 5 or 6 hours that I watched. So, the storyline was there. Overall, I'd give this show like an A- to a B+. It had all the right individuals in it. It had the character development. It had the music was great. The Hawaiian culture or the Polynesian culture was shown in it throughout the entirety of the show. You've got Coolidge, Miss Coolidge, or I think it's Jennifer Coolidge, and she plays Tanya. And then you've got Belinda, who I can't remember who she's played by, but I will do research and I'll put that in the description down below when this video goes live. And Mike White directed it. And he wrote this show. Look, I know 6 episodes doesn't seem like it's like a full-length show, because most TV shows, have 10 episodes. Some have 12, some have 16, some have 23, some have 24. But this was just a limited series. Now, I'm not saying that there's going to be, interesting stuff that's going to happen in next season if they have a next season, but season 1 just hit home with me. And I cannot stress enough, I recommend you go watch this, because you see friends break up, possibly, you see a marriage break up, now if you haven't seen the show, I wouldn't recommend watching this video. And if you have no inkling of watching the show on HBO Max, I wouldn't, I'd watch it anyways. I'm not giving away too many spoilers. I'm just saying friendships could break up, marriages could break up, there's a death at the end of the show. There's a lot of things happen in this show that are just amazing. And I could not love this type of show more than I did love it. And I mean, if you think about it, Sydney Sweeney is a great, amazing actress. Alexandra Daddario is an amazing actress. You know, Connie Britton is an amazing actress. You know, Steve Zahn, great actor. You know, all of these individuals who are acting in this show, even, you know, Jennifer Coolidge, all of them are great at whether they've been acting, whether they appeared in music videos, whether they have made music, whatever it may be, even directing. Mike White did an amazing job of directing and writing this show. And now that I've completed one show on HBO Max, it's now on to, you know, Umbrella Academy Season 2, which is 10 episodes long. So there's that. I thought that's what I just talked about today, is how amazing this show is. You know, all the actors and actresses that are appearing in the show are amazing at their craft. And, you know, taking place in Hawaii, which is a beautiful place to be in the show, or anywhere. Any type of island life would be a great place to have a show. Whether it could be the Bahamas, it could be Hawaii, it could be Greece, it could be anywhere, really, that has an island of sorts. I'm just saying that would be a great way to show a show. Now, with that being said, I wanted to move on to something else that I think should be talked about. And that is, I would love... Now, I'm not saying J.K. Rowling will ever watch this video or anything like that, but I would like to see her write a new series of books, a prequel to the Harry Potter world, where it's the story of James and Lily Potter and how they met, and leading up until right before they had Harry Potter, because that would be an interesting story. I'm not saying it would be like 7 or 8 books, maybe like 2 or 3 books of you know, from their Hogwarts days up until, you know, they got married, and then after they got married, and right before they had Harry Potter, and all of that stuff. I think that would be a cool story to see. Now, I'm not saying she's ever going to write this book, or anyone will ever write that book, but I'm just saying it would be interesting to see that story play out, just like they did with the Harry Potter books, whether it was the Sorcerer's Stone, the Chamber of Secrets, the Prisoner of Azkaban, the Goblet of Fire, and it wouldn't just be including, you know, James and Lily. It could include a young Severus Snape and Remus Lupin and Sirius Black, and, you know, all of those characters that existed in that time period where, you know, James and Lily were going to school, and leading up until right before, you know, Harry Potter was born. That would be a great story to tell. Now, I'm not saying it's not. She may be working on it, or she may not. I'm just saying it would be an interesting 3 or 4 books, maybe 5 books, just showing the story of leading up until Harry's birth. From when James got the letter, and Lily got the letter to go to Hogwarts. It's kind of, I don't know if it would be the same story as Harry Potter. It may be completely different because Voldemort didn't exist back then. Maybe he was going to school at the same time. It's just, it would be interesting to see how that book story would be told, with James and Lily and Severus and Remus and Wormtail and all of those. Peter Pettigrew, you know, all of those characters that exist when going to school, when James and Lily were going to school at Hogwarts. With that being said, I want to wish the final birthday of August 2021. It is Akila Hughes, and I want to wish her happy birthday. And with that being said, goodbye August, hello September, because that's what the first day, tomorrow is the first day of September. So, I'm going to be doing a praise video tomorrow, so look forward to that tomorrow in tomorrow's vlog. And I will see you tomorrow with the brand spanking new vlog. And ciao. Bye bye.